Spot check. If you know, we are in Roosevelt Island. This is the quintessential skate spot of New York City. Technically considered Manhattan because it follows a Manhattan zip code. I don't know about other codes, building codes, regulation, yada yada, how it falls in terms of zoning. But as far as zip code, postal code, it is Manhattan. That is Manhattan to the west. And in that direction, you have Queens. Down below, you have the F train. You've got the tramway. It's one island. I think a fellow by the name of Angelo Ferreira, he coined the term, in my opinion, he was the first person I ever heard say it. He said Roosevelt Island is Skaters Island. So Skaters Island, Scooter Island, BMX Island, what else is there? Skateboard Island, Pogo Stick Island, Unicycle Island. There's a lot of shit. So I'm going to spend the next couple of hours showing you guys spots. But even right now in this terminal, there's shit to skate downstairs. And then there's, not to say that you're going to do anything on this bank, but it's still something and it still has potential, right? I would even go so far as to say these benches, right? Because I've always skated these benches, but you could potentially skate the brick ledges. Right. So that's that. And we will exit the premises and we will show you other aspects of the island, one at a time. Gotta love your ADA door. Americans with Disability Act. Whew, it's nippy out here. Surrounded by water on all sides. It's an island. Duh. All right, Roosevelt Island tramway right above us, right? You got the 59th Street Bridge. I forget what it's called, but I'm just noticing other things that are atypical, but essentially this island it's a walkable island, and everywhere there is something to skate, everywhere. So if you had those types, if you were looking for something crazy on some Mother Russia Ilya Savosin, and you wanted to jump into the East River and risk dying, you could chop these branches off, put a piece of wood right here, and you have a rail straight into the water. It don't get no brighter. It really don't get no brighter. Like, real talk, no bullshit, right? Like, I don't know if you can see that. That's spot one of the, after we have exited the premises. But I'm taking you right over to this property here. We'll do a fast forward. This is where racquetball takes place. And we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 risers on a pretty basic bitch, shitty aluminum rail, right? You got all this infrastructure. Not that you would skate it. And again, Roosevelt Island has its own police department. They also do have the NYPD, but they kick you out and you circle the block, whatever, you come back. But look at how pristine and beautiful this is. Little dick on the end. I'm not a fan of that, but still something, right? And then this goes all the way down, right? So this is just the rails right here at the racquetball court, right? Easily transferable. We've got 1, 2, 3, less than 4 feet. All right, as you can see, Roosevelt Island is also a huge tourist attraction simply because it's motherfucking Roosevelt Island and you've got great views of everything. And you can get here with a Metro card on the tramway. You can get here with the Metro card on the train. You can take the New York City ferry, which costs, I think, the same $3 and change. But here we have a ledge, right? Once upon a time, they put new railings in, okay, but once upon a time, I think Giannis actually did one of these like top sole, foot on the rail, front foot on the ledge grinds. So there's definitely potential and possibility here. This is a average size ledge. You can come and wax it up. There is kick out possibility, but if you're about your shit, you can get it done. Right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 risers. I tried to back rail this, but didn't have enough time and or wax. I definitely back railed it, not halfway, maybe a quarter of the way, but it's a potential. potential gap challies, wall rides, and even this right here is a lot of challies and stuff. And the infamous rail that everyone sees, that wavy rail, is right in the corner. I think Be Unique and Co made that popular, right? That wavy rail, right? So we'll go over there now and take a look. But yes, this is the other end of the racquetball court. All right, so we're gonna venture to that wavy rail and we'll just stop and look at this here. I thought it was interesting so that you guys can see. You can go into these facilities while you're here, and it's always great to have a facility with restrooms and stuff. So Roosevelt Island has you covered. If there are no restrooms and whatnot, there's so much open space, and even sometimes the water where you can just climb onto a rock, take a shit, drop a piss, whatever. But they're open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. All right, as we head this way, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 risers. Gonna put this down. Right, that's 8 risers for this little baby rail if you were so inclined, or if you wanted to skate it straight across. It's high. It's about, if this is 36, it's a little higher. And then this one here, which is a little more massive, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 19 risers. And if you're trying to transfer these two, that's 2, 3, 4. I mean, if you're saying the rail stops here, technically you're going to have to jump here. So technically to transfer these two, you're looking at about 4.5 feet, right? Now, what you'll notice is there's also straight rails over there and another set just like this on the other end. This is what you have from the top, all right? Very, very dangerous. I do not recommend it. Alrighty then, so I just came from the rails over here, bridge over there, like I was telling you guys before. There is the NYC ferry that can also bring you here. That ferry goes pretty much everywhere in New York, from as far as Coney Island to Soundview and Classen Point, and I think even further into the Bronx. It touches almost every part of the water in Brooklyn and Queens and Manhattan. Cornell Tech, right? North Loop, just came from over there. This facility definitely kick out of sorts, but again, at night things are a little bit different, and at night pretty much everything's lit up. And look at this. You can tell this has been skated, grinded, waxed. I don't know what you want to call it, but someone had the balls to get up and get down on this bayayayach. And it's got the Cornell seal in the middle. I would look at this as more of a parkour spot, but you can definitely get some grinding in on it as well. Right, and the bench is behind it. Not really so much, but yeah, you could do something on the benches if you really wanted to. You totally could wax those and definitely get a grind, because this is not in the way. You've got a lot of room to play. And then obviously the top if you were so inclined. So that's this spot. Okay, we are in the heart of this giant Cornell campus, which obviously I'm sure billions were spent, maybe $1 billion and change. My math on construction is a little fuzzy, but when you're talking about all of this landscaping and the cost to dig up earth and remove earth, that's a whole nother cost, and reshape earth, terraforming if you will, that's a whole nother cost in comparison to just putting in pipes and infrastructure, right? So now there's all of these beautiful ledges that have been like capped, right? But that's not to say that something still can't occur in some of these places where they didn't cap them, where they think, oh, no one's gonna skate those. We're monitoring those all the time, right? So I'm showing you this because there are still a few uncapped, right? Uncapped potential, if that makes any sense. Untapped, uncapped, right? Like this bad boy right here. And to me, what's sick about a spot like this in this corner is that this facility here is blocked. Not blocked, but it's still vacant, so there's really no one watching it. Of course, there are cameras. Could be dummy cameras for all we know. But I look at a spot like this and I go, holy shit. You can bust a trick, maybe a quick sus slide, put a piece of wood, and gap off, right? And even if you really wanted to, you could do something funky here, roll and gap off or gap out. The other big thing I should note about the giant hill and mound and the landscaping is that when it's winter time and there's snow, get your skis, get your snowboards, and get your snow paraphernalia out and rip some lines, man. Just get out there and rip some lines across that biatch. Why not? And I don't mean drugs, I mean adrenaline. Skate, ski, surf. That's what it's all about. That's part of the whole new wave mantra. Skate, ski, surf. You dig? All right, I just parked the bike up, but I'm looking at this thing here and I'm going, what is this? And it looks like this is how they crank the wire, right? But I'm only here because of this. This is flat, so that's not really a riser, but over here it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And a little wobbly. Not the greatest, little rinky dink, but you can still do something if you were so inclined. Right, this is what it looks like. You have all this runway for a little bitty rail. Another little challenge going this way. And if your dick was really that big and you wanted to jump 43 to 44 inches and skate a very sharp piece of metal, you could get broke off on that as well. I think there's more that way, but I got to make it back to the other side as well. So let's just swing around and see what's happening. Right? If that makes sense. Boulders, I always feel like boulders are a good addition. Right? This, obviously, it's in the grass, so they might be thinking, no one's going to skate this shit. But let's say you know you got one trick you got that you've been dying to do. And for whatever reason, this is the perfect spot for you to do the trick. I would recommend you wax it up and put some wood down. Option 1. Option 2 is you try to find your balancing trick with big wheels when it's cold and the ground is not soft but hard. Like right now the floor is hard, right? Soil becomes hard when it's wet and cold. And if you have big wheels, you'll roll across this no problem. You know, I don't think skateboarders have that luxury the way we do. We can often skate on this type of terrain. BMXers and I think scooters, BMXers definitely. Scooters, I don't think scooters will hold up on soft, terrain like this. But BMXers and inlines with big wheels, actually scooters might. I don't know. I just feel like the way scooters are designed, they might sink. I don't know. I have to find out. But yeah, I would love to do something here, with or without a piece of wood. You know, maybe big wheel setup and these what's it called? Icon shift frames, I think, where it's like they fit big wheels, but you can put an H block in them. I see that as a spot where I would come and do some kind of trick around the curve. But that's this spot, and we will move on to the next. All right, we just came from over yonder, and I'm giving you a quick pan. Pepsi Cola in the distance, United Nations in the distance, Chrysler Building in the distance. So if that's UN, that's 42nd Street. Chrysler's 42nd Street. I'm trying to think. That I think is 59th Street. Oh yeah, that's the 59th Street bridge. So that gives you some context to where we are. But I'm up here at one of the highest points. I think that on the left is the highest point, and I think the best slope on this mound is yonder, and then down going further. That's north, so that's east. The Citibank, the formerly Citibank Altice now building. You've got Silver Cup Studios in the distance. That is your NYC ferry. It is such a smooth, tranquil ride in comparison to the normal everyday hustle and bustle of underground mass transit. If you have the opportunity to take the ferry, get the schedule, get the app, I highly recommend it for your mental health and well-being, just to have a different experience. It does require you to leave earlier, and often it will require you to do a lot more walking and or commuting by foot. And that's why I think it's important that more of us as a community, as a society, we use bikes, skates, skateboards, and get that alone time where you're actually out on the streets and the pedestrian paths by yourself, breathing in the air, exercising, and getting the blood flowing. Alrighty then, I just came down that mound, right? And now we're looking at this landscaping of masonry, and I went, holy moly guacamole. This right here looks like it's goldy. It definitely would slide. I find it interesting that there are chunks almost perfectly missing. It was definitely done by design. I don't know if it was done initially or if it was an afterthought, because you have a space, and then no space. So it looks like they came and actually maybe chiseled it out on purpose. Again, I look at this as, you might be thinking, oh, I want to grind the whole thing. I'm thinking anything is possible. You can get some lines going, but I think more importantly, it's a spot where it allows potential for DIY. You know, people see the world as whatever it is, and they go, oh man, this shit sucks. I see things and go, why not? Because guess what? This didn't always exist. This was some fucking crazy fucking hospital for, was it polio or something? Or the mentally, whatever it was like an insane asylum. But here's a closer look. All right, so you got one stretch there, which is about 4 feet, and then you've got an 8-foot stretch right here. And what's so hard about skating a piece and then hopping? To me, that's the real challenge. Wonder what's on the other side of this thing. Not much going on. Electric junction box on the floor. All right, we're gonna keep it pushing. Oh, by the way, there's some dope skate spots directly across from where I'm standing. So 59th Street, that pathway on the water, beautiful shit to skate, beautiful architecture. Note to self. Okay, this is the Franklin Delano Roosevelt 4 Freedom Park. 4 Freedom, I think that's the letter F in sign language, and that's the letter P in sign language. All right, if that makes any sense. But 4 Freedom Park, let's see if we can get in here and do a little scout. More landscaping, right? More landscaping, which means what? It means more obstacles to slide down in the snow, and maybe not even in the snow. Maybe when it's dry and it's like right now, maybe there's something you can do out here. FDR Hope Memorial. It's got a wheelchair. Benches. Yeah, this is the old creepy house. I think they do some Halloween events out here. Pay me no mind. Structure is unstable. Oh, the smallpox hospital. Blackwell. For Freedom State Park. How you doing? It doesn't say that. It doesn't say it on the sign. Can I walk with it? Oh, bike rack. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Cheers, appreciate it. I don't want to carry it with me anyway. No, I was going to tell you to bring it in. All right, you got to be very quiet. We're hunting wabbits. Not wabbits, but water wabbits. You've got, look at this guy right here, nesting. Literally nesting. I don't know if you can tell, but it's fucking a nest of branches. I wouldn't be surprised if there's eggs underneath. This is so beautiful to me that we have this in the city. You know, so often we build and we stomp on Mother Nature. Like I said in another video, we keep fucking Mother Nature up. And I think, no, we are a product of nature. And we have to sustain it sustainably. But yeah, this is the park. This thing right here really couldn't get any smoother. It really doesn't get any brighter than just how smooth this is. Like even how like perfectly level these rocks are. Like with a bicycle or big, like even with like an ATV or something like an off-road vehicle, you have no problem rolling up and down on these surfaces. So let's really check it out. I mean, obviously you probably never get a chance to skate here unless you drop in at midnight. But just from a distance, this is what you're looking at. All right. Oh man, these blocks are so smooth. I wonder where they got these blocks and like how far they traveled, you know. Wonder if this was sustainably built and designed. No climbing monument. How dare you? I could imagine this thing is slippery as shit, but look at this. And FYI, if I had to do a skate park, it would not be concrete. It would be some sort of polished stone. I'm not picky with the marble or granite. Like, I realized, I did some research, they're all about the same price and cost, but it would be polished stone. Look at this. Look at this. This thing is a skinny dick rail. Pretty, relatively sturdy for what it is. And let's just count these as I go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's that Kobe, no beef, no more. I'm probably not cutting this video. This is going to be one regular video. All right, I'll do two. I'll try to cut this and shorten it into smaller video, but this is definitely going to be one long look at this shit type of video. This has skate park written all over it. Obviously the floor is not the most ideal, but again, it's not designed for skating. Someone's got a hat on the floor. They know this. They know things so well. This is amazing that they have a wheelchair ADA lift. This is amazing. I love this so much. That means you can bring your grandma out here. You can bring, you know, Vitali, you know, all your crippled and injured friends from years of skating or debauchery and drugs and crime and whatnot. Geez, I don't know what trick I would want to do on this. Definitely a kind grind. If I could do a true soul, this looks like it's the perfect angle, like everything. Like it looks like it's the perfect, if you miss, you'd just be like, you'd be like, I'm all right, I got this. You know, it's the perfect rail height for me where I feel like I'm not going to fall back and die because it's steep. It's not steep at all. It's not a steep rail. It's a relatively mellow rail, if I'm being just straight up frank. Let's see what's happening over here. Holy shit, this is... I would easily do a KG without a doubt. I might, yeah, KG's on a rail like this would definitely work for me. If let's say this is your standard 36-inch rail, we came prepared. Oh shit. That means I put the batteries in wrong. That ain't no good. That's never good. Did I really put the batteries in wrong? Oh, I fucking sure did. Listen, I've been using these types of lasers. Fuck. How long I've been using these lasers? Let's say I've been using lasers since 2000 and since almost as long as I've been rollerblading. So since 2002. I don't think I've ever done that. That goes to show you the giddiness going on here. And as a rule of thumb, we take it twice just to be sure. And we've got 34 inches. And if you were to jump on it right where it starts to slope, it's about 34. 34 either way. And if you were so inclined and you wanted to skate this material, this ADA material, right? You've got a rope and pulley system. Could you just imagine skating the lower portion? You might bang your feet here, but just wondering if this top portion could be skated. It definitely feels like maybe it's not the softer metal, but it has that sort of, it feels like rubberized. It has like that rubberized coat on it. So like if I scratch it, you'll see you'll see it coming off, right? And I find that, I was just saying, and I accidentally hit the stop record button, but I was saying I find that material to be notoriously slow and dangerous. Slow and dangerous. Ain't too many can hang with us. All right, let's take a stroll. Shit, this is a good spot to shoot a rap video. Fuck. All right, I'm gonna cut. Hey, yo, fuck Roosevelt Night. Doesn't it? No, hold on, how's it go? And action. Hey, yo, fuck Roosevelt Night. Shit, I'm gonna say it twice. Fuck Roosevelt Night. Doesn't it sound nice? Fuck Roosevelt Night. Say it 3 times like a prayer with each line so you can feel how I feel when I recite each rhyme. Fuck Roosevelt Night. All right, if I'm being completely honest, I know that song inside and out, but for some reason, walking and talking, it's not coming to me. And if I hear the beat, like I really have to be still and soaking that anger. And it's a very dark, negative place to be when you're spewing anger and hate, you know, especially when you really don't have hate for someone, when you actually love them. And I think that's the catch, is that there's a thin line between love and hate. And guess what? I couldn't make a song about someone if I didn't love them. Like I couldn't diss someone if I didn't have love for them. Take case in point, Francisco Herrera. I don't know this motherfucker from a hole in the wall, and I actually genuinely don't like this nigga at all. I genuinely hate this nigga because he's always done shady, suspect shit around me. Always. And I say that because I've always had my eye on him. The saying goes, I trust people as far as I can throw them. He's one of the motherfuckers that just never rubbed me the right way. Like I could just never read him, and he was just always mad, coy, and weird. And when I say weird, just like odd. Like just not upfront and direct or honest. So anyways, I got stories and stories for days about him, but like I can't make a song about him. I have zero interest. Roosevelt Night, on the other hand, I will tear him 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll tear him a million new assholes. I'll bury him just the same way I bury my mother. I'll bury my father. And if I'm willing to murder you, guess what? It means I love you. I wouldn't even touch Francisco anymore, man. Like, fuck that faggot. But yeah, this is where we at. I'm guessing this is often filled with water, maybe in the warmer months. There's a gate and some steps that goes down. Interesting detail. Let's see what kind of construction we got here. Janky hardware, it's pretty loose. I'm always testing shit, you know, just to see how it's designed and how it's made in the future days, which we seek to make secure, future-proof. We look forward to a world founded upon 4 essential human freedoms: speech, expression, everywhere. Second is person to worship God in his own way, everywhere. Well, if God is rollerblading or God is me being active and somebody's like, you can't skate here, then that's not really freedom. True freedom cannot exist in a world where there are rules. The fourth is like the fact that someone has to stand here is not freedom, right? Fourth is freedom from fear. Anywhere in the world that is no vision of a distant millennium. It is a definite basis for a kind of world attainable in our own time and generation. Man, I don't give a fuck what none of these fucking rich racist motherfuckers say. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yeah, what I mean? All right, this is a test that I do that gives me an idea of how fast or how steep something usually is. And it's just real simple, right? That lets me know if, oh yeah, it's too easy. Too easy. Look, Eli, you just did that shit? Eli, I can't believe you just did that shit. All right, we out. Did I see, is there anything to see over there? It's pretty much all symmetric. So if I was on left side, it's the same on the right side, but you get the gist. There's some writing on the walls, but when someone spends, I don't know, millions of dollars to create something like this and put fancy quotes on it. It means nothing to me. Do something for the people that are struggling and starving, for the poor. Do something about war, you know, instead of a war on drugs and a war on this, how about a war on poverty, right? So when I see lots of money being spent and you can't even enjoy it, I say go eat a dick. All right, not one to be outdone. It's like 6:30, almost 6:40. Sun sets at 7:24. Gives me just under an hour to bike to the other end and get some spots that look shitty at night, and I want to take some measurements. But I just noticed there's this rock path, and then I'm noticing there's like angled rocks that go this way. And I'm showing you that because I believe anything can be skated or turned into a skate spot. And I love rolling on rock to rocks and doing like rock stalls and rock bonks. And I'm noticing, yeah, like I was saying, if you were ever in the need to use the restroom and you're like, fuck, you know, you can always hit the waterfront, man. I think it's healthy for the ecosystem. But anyways, we out this bitch, trying to make it to the other side. I got a bunch of other spots to show you guys, and I'm probably not gonna get to all of them before the sun goes down, but at least I'll get the main ones. All right, I just can't help myself, right? So this is the giant hill on the farthest of the east side I was talking about, right? Queens over there, Pepsi Cola sign over there, ferry stop there, and ferry stop next to the bridge. But I've been watching these. These are they're basically like a landscaping, I forget exactly what it's called, but this is about 1/4 of an inch thick, very solid piece of steel, very durable. There is a joint where they are connected, and I've long felt like this would be sick to skate in wherever you see them. I think there's some of these in Harrisfield in the Bronx next to Bronx Science. I want to say there's one in Brooklyn somewhere. They're all over, but very rarely are they made of a very tough, strong, durable steel. And on a BMX or skates, or even, you can totally get something up, across, and down if the steel is consistent and not jagged and janky like it is in some areas. So I just thought I would pull up and get a better view, food for thought for someone, for myself. Seeing like you got a little crack here, that could easily spell death. There's a little inconsistency here, right? That could also spell death, right? So between this point and this point, these two curves, there's a little inconsistency, and then a little inconsistency there. So these are all things to consider if you're coming at it, you know, booking it, and then doing the damn thing. But yeah, that's another spot. Whew. And speak of the devil, and he shall appear. So I'm talking about the one little steel landscaping barrier, and I run into another one. This one's much longer going up, curves, and shorter coming down, or vice versa. It's short and steep, curves, and then is long and gradual. This almost looks like it's the perfect 12-to-1 ADA ramp ratio. But yeah, definitely a lot more inconsistency here, but it's one of these things where you could just get creative. I love getting creative and adding pieces of wood or adding DIYing spots. But yeah, we'll put those two together as one spot. Now what's that on the floor? This looks like some kind of like radar measuring device. Put this over here. All right, so we are at 430 Main Street. Good information because it's new building construction, new 29-story as per plans. It is, is it mixed use or is it just residential? Doesn't say, but it's probably residential with commercial on the bottom, so technically mixed use. As you can see, the rail is under construction, or it's surrounded by construction. Looking at a piece of property like this, chances are very high that they will leave the rail as is, because they obviously have not touched it now. You know, if they were going to change anything, they would have done so already. It's just possible that they will update the concrete. They might make it look a bit newer, finished, polished, etc. But you can't put anything past construction, right? Because what happens in construction often is that mistakes occur and then prices go up. Okay, so this is entirely residential. Entirely residential, no commercial, but yeah, mistakes occur. Maybe someone bangs this thing, maybe the concrete collapses, maybe some pipe didn't go as planned, and now they got to dig up the ground, and they're like, whatever, we'll just put a brand new rail in. So this is what it looks like from this side. And yeah, there's definitely going to be some new shit to skate there. And I guess we'll call that, was that 30 Main Street? I forget, but we can't hop this. I mean, I could hop in there and go over there and check it. I wanted to measure it, but since it's under construction, fuck it. We'll focus on the shit that is actually skatable, but that's one spot. Okay, to give you some context, that's the bridge. We are now past the bridge, all right? There's some cool stuff here, some little bit of hills. There's tons of new construction happening everywhere. New railings on this park. Very sturdy, very low. It's a children's park, right? This rail is very low. 36 over here, so this is about maybe 32, right? I've always thought this was funky and interesting caution sign, you know, things like this where maybe you can gap. Maybe if you really were inclined, you could rub brick and wax the outside of the ledge or the inside on both, right? That would be dope. But people don't see these things. They just, because most of y'all are bums, first of all, right? Quoting Danny Figs, but I shouldn't even quote that motherfucker, right? But anyways, this rail, not a very low rail by any means, and not a very fun looking rail. The ground is janked up. You could roll and you can get tripped right here. That side is a little bit more appealing. And it comes in just under 36 inches at the flat, but obviously it slopes down and you're dealing with a little bit of danger. And there's some other rails in the distance that we will try to briefly take a peek at. Ugh. All right, so there's those rails, and then there's this little obstacle, which isn't the best. And then this right here, we've got, I don't think I counted the stairs, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this stair, wooden steps, right? This looks like it's thorns, so you might want to stay clear. All right, I don't know if you can see that. That's all thorns. Ugh. And last but not least, you've got this side with a bit of a gap, and this one is definitely a lot taller than the others. Shit, there's so many spots out here. There's no way I'm getting this done before the sun goes down. This one's almost 37 in height, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rises. It's hard to see with the light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a very rough piece of architecture. Brick, stone, that's the same kind of red railing that you saw on the other end, but once again, totally could be DIY'd and turned into what we could consider the best kink ledge in the city, right? I would even go so far as to say, if there's no new construction in this vicinity, it's likely that this might stay here for another 5, 10, 20 years. And who would actually stop you from designing and building a beautiful kink rail in the center, right? A lot of times people don't know who's who and who's what. You show up looking professional with the right equipment gear, saying the right things, the names, throwing out the rights, whatever. They'll be like, all right. And before you know it, you've got yourself a brand new fucking obstacle. So let's just count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 flat, 10. This rail is massive. And in the distance, that's like the next spot I'm heading to. You can see there's a bunch of crazy shit over there, but there's no, this is where this rail sits, and I'm on my feet just for some food for thought. All right, so see what we got. We've got this ramp right here. If you were so inclined, you have all that approach, you can run up, but yeah, there's no way you're jumping on this from the top. That's 54 inches, right? You could possibly jump at it from over here, midway, but you could ride it, maybe even switch and transfer to the other side. Really technical fucking skating. Now this ledge at the highest point at the flat, it's 34.5, and just look at it, marvelous, man. You do some landscaping, you can roll it. Obviously it's rough as shit, so you could really get hurt. But that's one spot I had to show you guys, and I'll jump to the next spots over there, and then I'll bounce back over there. Roosevelt Island, like these are the iconic architectural, I don't know if it's known as Art Deco style of architecture. Once again, I'm an what's that unique shit? Film school dropout, this, that, whatever. This architecture, I don't know what it is, but it is the most notable on the island, most visible on the island, aside from all of the new stuff, most iconic, and it's where some of the most dangerous burly spots are. And this right here is one of the first of the most basic spots, right? Nothing too crazy, but what you have are these perfect 45-degree angled ledges and benches, right? The brick pavers make it a little bit difficult to roll on. Obviously, it needs some TLC, so you could sand it, wax it, whatnot. It's heavily coated in paint, but there are several of these. There's two here, there's two there. You know, if you can, there's two at that point, and then there's two even further down, and then I think there's two more. So there might be a total of 8 of these sections. What's cool is that you can either grind it from that point, or you can gap from the driveway, from the roadway to the ledge, which makes it more challenging. This looks like it's about 36 inches in height. It's 30 inches in height, so it's relatively low. Plus, what does this measure? So it's 36 inches from the top of the ledge to the street. So the curb is about 6 and change. Just some food for thought. Hey, this is the second ledge. I'm only showing you this because it's a lot cleaner, smoother pathway. The other one, obviously, there's scaffolding, so there's some construction. There's scaffolding here, but there's not much construction. That one has 0 scaffolding on the next 2 sets, but this one definitely cleaner and easier to skate and picturesque. And don't forget the inside, and whatever you see here is very similar to the other street, which is Main Street. Right now we are at officially 556 Roosevelt Landings, right? There's down ledge, same construction, which is also the same sort of architectural construction of the entire complex, right? It's a massive complex. And I want to say this is the ledge that Thomas Lapani famously injured himself on and you know, put himself out of commission in the skate game. And this ledge is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 risers. And since we're here, I'll just go up top. It's missing all of the steel. Definitely an interesting place to drop a piss or dookie, right? But holy shit, this is not a fun looking ledge at all. I would not want to skate this ledge. It's low, relatively low, but it's, I don't know, it's funky. All right, not necessarily the best of things to do, but maybe you want to roll down a slippery drainage ditch. By all means, enjoy yourself. Drainage ditch to a little curb that you have to gap over. So I don't know, I just feel like I've seen a lot of cool things in areas like this with landscaping, where people bomb stuff and then have to come to an abrupt stop. But that's just something, food for thought. All right, spot check. This is a quick sneak peek of the numerous ledges that run the entire length of this architectural complex, this housing complex, whatever it is exactly, but often a bus, because as you can hear, it echoes. The sound travels from way yonder to way yonder, but you couldn't get a better ledge in terms of the height, the size. You know, this is a standard seat height is 18 inches if you know, architecturally speaking. And it's just designed 18 inches ergonomically for the body. I think you can get them as low as 16 inches or as high as, I think, maybe 22. But once you get to like 24 and above, it's not really considered a seat. So yeah, look at that, marvelous, right? And this is the Main Street portion of these properties. And it's only on the east side of the street. The west side of the street is the side towards Manhattan. And I'm gonna go back in this direction briefly. This is just another section at 536 Roosevelt Landings, or 536 Roosevelt Landings, or that iconic church, which is another spot. Literally Skaters Island, no bullshit. All right, so this whole section with this giant rail is blocked off. It definitely is under construction. Very narrow pathway here, but maybe I can do something and show you some of what's happening. Because these rails are like no fucking joke whatsoever. Like none. And I have to pee like a motherfucker. But yeah, as you can see, that's one spot. Okay, so this is the other spot check. I'll try to do this as quickly as I can before I get the super boot. And I'm guessing that with all the new construction happening, the residents are probably like, yo, we need better infrastructure. Once a space in general gets updated with better money and architecture, everything else gets updated. So yeah, I got my shit out there. Just dropping off of the bottom from this thing. That's 52 inches from the bottom. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18. So it's 20, 21 risers and a very odd 21 and a half odd looking riser, right? We've got all of this infrastructure. I said it was 52 inches drop from the bottom. If you were to jump before this crack of a step, you're talking 30, almost 36 inches. Some little inconsistencies, but not the end of the world. And if you were to fall off of this rail at the highest point, you're falling 171 inches into the soil below. I hope you guys are keeping track of that. This obstacle here, that's about 35 and a half inches, 36 roughly, right? These are some rough benches. Again, the floor isn't the greatest, isn't the best. I do remember being here and someone skating this shit. And then I remember someone skating that kink. So we'll show you that as well. If you were to drop on this side, you're dropping to concrete. And the concrete is 185 and a half. So you're falling further to the concrete as opposed to the soft fall there. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like 20 risers, and if you were to jump before the crack, you're looking at, damn, almost 38 inches on the rail. That's the basketball court. That's the basketball courts in the red stuff I was at earlier. And then this one here, which is now sealed off. I think I might have attempted this once upon a crazy time, to be honest with you. Fucking crazy. This is 36 inches, and if you were to drop, you would drop 201 inches to concrete. Not a pleasant way to go. And it's a very high fucking rail, like high sackable rail. Let's go down this set so we can get a better look at this set. Oh shit, this is all waxed up. This is sick. You know, I didn't get the bottom of that one, but I can tell the bottom of this one. We're already here. Let's get it. The bottom of this one is definitely higher. So that's approximately 63, almost 64 inches. The bottom of the rail. And the battery's dying, and I have a few more spots, but really one that I definitely have to get. So that's this one. Okay, so we are approaching a very low church rail of a kind of cheap material. There's a joint. The rail is connected via joints. If you can see what's happening here, right? Just a note to self about the construction and that it's falling apart, but it's still very sturdy, still holds up, right? And then what you find on this side are lots of rails like the ones you're seeing now, and dope architecture. I think this is some of the dopest steel architecture where you can hit the rail, and if you're ballsy, you can hit the exterior. So this is 551-555-575 Main Street, Island House. Again, rough ledge, rails. And I think directly behind me by the church is the Roosevelt Island, like not PD, but like security center. And as we approach this little gap / challenge, you've got this, I thought this was always the dopest, right? To just roll and jump into the down bank. You've got this perfect, to me, this is the type of rail that looks like it was made for skating, skateboarding, rollerblading, you name it. Like just in terms of the architecture, the infrastructure. Very sturdy, very doable. I want to say this was something I think maybe we were trying to skate once with Giannis, but I think at one point he was like, I think I was like, yo, could you gap to it? And he was like, yeah, but I don't know if I want to die right now. But it's something I know that he's capable, like Giannis is the type of guy that is capable of doing it and would do it. But I think at that point in the day, he was tired and exhausted. So let's just go real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're 10, but one side's a little higher than the other. And some food for thought if you were to drop off of this obstacle. It's 77 inches to drop. The height on this obstacle is almost 40 inches. So it's possible, but I'm really curious about the distance if I had to gap from here straight to the rail. That's from the edge of the step to the start of the rail almost. Again, keeping in mind that 9 foot to me is the standard on aggressive inlines or just regular inline skates. So that's 132 inches. So it's not that far, honestly, not at all. And this is your standard rail height, but I'll give it to you anyway. 37, but we'll hit the next spot. All right, now this is a pretty cool handrail. I love this fucking handrail. I've skated it numerous times. It's got a little wobble, it's rusted. Just by what's happening on the island and the fact that they would DIY this, which technically is a trip hazard, right? If you wanted to sue New York or sue Roosevelt Island, you could easily say you came here and tripped on this, busted your shit and went down the stairs. But I'm showing you this because this is one of my favorite, funnest rails. And whatever height this is, I gotta add maybe an inch or two or more. So this is 34 inches, but there was once upon a time a rail on top of this platform that spanned all the way across, and I hit it topsoil all the way to the end, but it was probably the highest rail I've ever hit. And it was at that point in my career where I started jumping higher and higher. FYI, there's tons of shit in here, and you didn't hear this from me, but these bars are like Jello. They're literally like, not Jello, I'll use the word polio. They're like polio cheese, string cheese. You can literally bend these like Superman if you wanted to get in there without hopping the sharp tops of these. And I think I'm gonna go hit the ledges. The ledges are really the main thing. There's the big fat rail, and the real one I want to spot check is the drop rail that Alex hit. I want to measure that in the light. So all right, so I just came from that flat rail, right, with the jello guard, with the black jello rails on the side. I'm showing you this as part of the same structure, right? Not that you would want to skate these ledges, but you could if you really wanted to. You could get something on the curved ledge. Again, everything is basically a kick out in this island, depending on how you skate it, when you skate it, who you skate it with, how noisy you are, time of day. But this one, also a high fucking rail. Huge potential to hit this one curved to the drop if you were into that type of skating. And I will not go to the Alex spot, I'll go to the Ado spot. Okay, we are near these giant brick banks, which on inlines and other things really isn't worth it, right? Just to give you an idea what it looks like. See, if you roll, you're gonna trip right into that curb. You might have a spot here and there that's flat, but the only reason I am here is because of Art of Rolling magazine and that obstacle there. Now that I look at it from here, I realize that the potential to roll and then gap directly over that entire gate fence thing is possible, right? But once upon a time, I was pulled along this curb and jumped to a sole. And this isn't a huge gap by any means. My hand's already at 7 feet. So I'll just give you a quick measurement from the bottom up, from the bottom to the top. Take it 2 times for good measurement, and we got about 108 inches. 110 is what, 11 feet? 120 is 10 feet, right? Whatever the case is, I want to get up there just to see what it looks like from the top view. And sheesh, you can go right through this hole. That's it, look at this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rail ledge. There's so much potential here. Holy shit. Not sure you would want to, but you could potentially wax this fucking ledge and gap out. There's a little sea ledge in there. Holy shit. Second thoughts, hell to the motherfucking no. I would definitely be interested in grinding the ledge and then hopping over, but I'm not fucking trying to gap from this stair all the way over. Hell no. And what do you know? Ledges, right? I don't think there's any security up here after a certain time. And those ledges look like this, if I'm not mistaken. And this is stone, a little janky, but still. You can see how poorly maintained some of these areas are, right? Kids will play in anything and in anywhere. They're kids, but I think our kids deserve better. And I don't discriminate on age, color, sex, orientation, whatever. Not when they're children. But yeah, this is how you approach this spot. Jeez, that's weird as fuck. I can't believe I did that. I think we had a piece of wood down there. We had a piece of wood. We definitely had a piece of wood. I'm going, that's so weird. We had a piece of wood. Let's get another measurement. For shits and giggles. 106. Getting 106, 108. A little sidetracked. Again, Skater Island. Like, no fucking bullshit. Look what's going on inside. You about to miss, watch. Oh, cash. This ledge is fucking high because this is 36 or 32. Definitely rough, but rough ain't never stopped anybody from getting shit accomplished, right? So yeah, it's guardrail height, 42 inches. Pretty dope. It's like a faux loading dock, right? When I say faux, it's not like a full loading dock where you can back a huge truck up into it, and it's not like you have the best run up, right? This looks like they're trash chute, right? And I don't know what this thing is here. Oh my God. But either way, if you were so inclined and you had the chute spots, the balls, the gonads, you could pull up and do something, maybe hop rail, hop on the ledge. If you could jump that high, then kudos to you. All right. This is the moment I've been waiting for a very long time. You know and I know what is up. The roll to rail, right? We get a good look at it so we can pause the video because this is getting sped up. There's this side as well, right? Gonna climb these stairs, give you an idea. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rises. I believe this is sewage plant of some sort. Well, let's first give you the height of the rail. So it's almost 38-inch rail. And if you were to drop to that rickety ass floor below, right, you're looking at 115 inches almost on that side. This is the side that Alex skated. I don't know if it was banged up like it is now, but because it's banged up, it's not fully straight. It's crooked, right? It's kinky, if you will. So 114 versus 112, approximately. Let me just get a ballpark here so I know what I'm dealing with. Let me do it on this end. So we're looking at, 112. And just to give you an idea of what you're looking at, your rail, just the infrastructure, the architecture, just everything happening. Oh, almost fucking fell. Like, this is not for the fucking faint of heart. Like, I don't think you guys understand the level of insanity that this man was on. Like, he was about his shit. So when I tell y'all, like, suicide prevention awareness, and when y'all start telling me that I'm going crazy, and when I say fuck Ramel, fuck all these faggots out there, it's because I believe without a doubt that they somehow influenced Alex in a way. And it sucks because essentially what it means is that he wasn't as strong-willed as he was physically in terms of mental capacity, right? But, such is life. So I got the evil of my dead nigga trapped in my mind. So my soul is a threat to my mankind. Born to kill. I'm wicked by nature cause the streets of my neighborhood breed young hell raisers. I'm 30-6 with the scope. I make a skinhead brain bust all across the East Coast. right, with all the renovations happening everywhere on the island, back in the days when we went somewhere, we always scouted. We might be skating a ledge, we'd be like, yo, maybe we could find, and let's say we didn't have wax, but whatever the case is, we always had this spirit that technically can be translated to an entrepreneurial spirit. It's the same thing. It's really no difference from saying entrepreneurial, from saying DIY, from saying like go get her or get her done, but it was always this sort of inquisitive, curious spirit where it was like the status quo was never enough, right? So I just stumbled on all of these beautiful, I guess you can call them red, but they're not really red stone ledges. They look like the nature that you could probably get these caps off very easily, but they will probably damage very quickly. Let me see. It's very smooth to the touch, very small granular composite or conglomerate of it's sedimentary. It's not like giant pieces of rocks. And then there's this, and I see some stuff in the distance, so I decided to swing on by. But this is funky, right? And it's probably lit up because people are playing soccer. And let's see if we can hit the other jam. And since I'm on that flow tip, I got a few seconds left. I think it's worth mentioning that the LGBTQ community, whatever they want to be called, I believe they are in a way not bad, but I think there's a positive thing behind them in terms of humanity and the keyword unity amongst humans, right? However, I believe that they oppress more than they actually let on. They oppress like a motherfucker. They also control the majority of all the drug and cocaine and heroin and dope in the community. This is pretty fucking sick. Once upon a time, I was at an Iranian mosque on Queens Boulevard, if you can call it a mosque, with my younger brother, and we were doing a celebration for, I think, one of the imams and what is her name, Fatima. And it was a very emotional celebration, crying, tears, like I was bawling my eyes out. I was surprised that my younger brother was not crying. But what shocked me the most is that they were preaching and saying they were hosting a parade in Texas, and they said that the LGBT community got them shut down. Now, this is a Iranian mosque with Iranian money and American money backing it, and the LGBT community shut them the fuck down, saying that they were preaching hate. Now, if I'm preaching love and peace, because Islam is really about peace, and your religion or your beliefs is about sex and drugs and whatever, and you shut mine down, who's really preaching hate? This is all just food for thought. But anyways, that's the spot. You can skate it and gap out. Bing, bing, bing. Oh, lest we not forget, the inside, very long, still very possible. I got my bike in the cut, but let me just walk over here and see what's happening. Lest we not forget that the devil wears Prada. I didn't make that up. Flavor Flav. I've always wanted to skate one of these. This would be amazing. Skate one of these right here. That would be sick. The inside of this is also somewhat pristine, but I would love to see how tiny that is. I'm almost guaranteed you hit this hard enough and it's coming right off. But anyways, we out this beach. All right. We are at the motherfucking tip of the dick. Look at the flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of the dick. All right, we're at the tip of Roosevelt Island North. I think it's called Lighthouse Park, right? As you have a lighthouse. That's Astoria Projects, where I got arrested. Probably because some bitch-ass culero faggot motherfuckers called the cops on me, more than likely. Or because I was a bitch-ass faggot culero motherfucker that chose to be brazen and keep spraying this shit and waxing this shit, even though the cops were staring at me and circling. But who gives a fuck? What's done is done. You got a new spot. But this is dope. Fucking water splashing up on this bitch. I would say this is a swale, S-W-A-L-E, right? Landscape architectural terminology. Very, very durable, solid, not no hollow core. This is not no king. This is a fucking solid piece of motherfucking steel. You've got one on the other side. And the approach and the run up is amazing. And it is a fucking angled rail, and you can only imagine the view you can get here, whether it's sunset or sunrise, or like, you know, dusk, dawn, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this is a low fucking rail. 36 inches is about here. So this is a low fucking rail. But again, it's a solid steel rail. It's not hollow. Not to my knowledge. It doesn't feel hollow at all. What that means is when you fall on it, it's gonna hurt that much more. What I like is that it's not sharp, right? You see what I'm saying? It's rounded, right? The edges are rounded. And how much time I got? I got 147. I could take a look at that one, but fuck it, let's do it. Let's try to do it. You can do it, do it, do it. So here's the other one. And this is the comparison to the BMX. So you see where my seat is, right? The top of my seat poking out, just barely reaches. I put the tape and everything away, so I don't really fucking feel like reaching into my bag and getting it out. It's about 10 inches above my knee. That doesn't fucking help you anyway, but yeah. Spot, check. Okay, I don't know that this flash helps at all. Does it? I don't think so. But this is, it says it's The Girl Puzzle by Nelly. That's Nellie Bly. Nellie Bly. I gave a despairing farewell glance at freedom as we came in sight of the long stone buildings. For audio, yada, yada, yada. You can snap that. This is pretty tricky. What's this one say? I walked with grace of a queen past the crowd that had gathered, curious to see the new unfortunate. I have never had but one desire, and that was to benefit humanity. That's a motherfucking fact. Some people are so fucking selfish. Like, everything I'm doing is because I want to be the guy that fucking made the skate series and threw an event. No, what happens is when I see shit sucks, I go, fuck this, and I get mad and I do something about it. Especially if I have the power to do something about it. While I live, I hope a motherfucker tries me. I dreamed of my mother last night. I think she may come today and take me home. Take me home. FYI, I believe hip-hop and things of that nature, art, poetry, are really about true humanity. And I think hip-hop is lost when it is about aggression and violence and anger without an underlying message. Sure, you can express the, I have a dream and I'm fed up and I'm gonna fucking, like Stokely Carmichael, aka Kwame Ture, said, fuck the bullshit, fuck putting up with all this bullshit. Black power, just if y'all gangs out there, y'all banging and y'all about that life, get the fucking guns already. That's what he said. I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, get the fucking guns. What are we doing? Right? Freedom isn't won by writing laws and politics. It's by getting the motherfucking power. And I say all that because I feel like a lot of these sculptures, landscape projects that are installed all over the city, all over the world, those should be the sites where we shoot videos, music videos, record songs, you know, all of the above and in between. It just makes sense. Like, why shoot it in a club or a bar and we're drinking? Like, why promote that? Like, if at the end of the day, that's not the true you. Like, if you really, like, and the only reason people are living that life is because by any means necessary. And by any means necessary means if I'm oppressed as a male or vice versa, I'm oppressed as a female, I'm going to switch genders because maybe I'll be less oppressed. Maybe I'll be more happy. Maybe I feel like a lot of that is bullshit. I feel like a lot of it is based and boils down to capitalist oppressive societal bullshit. And capitalism is I'm gonna fucking rape you and do what I want and you just gonna take it. Nah, that ain't the wave. That is not the wave. That never was the wave. It never will be the wave. Who said bitch niggas is getting stronger than a motherfucker? Who said that? What artist? Y'all tell me. Put that shit in the comments. Like I'm gonna fucking read it anyway. Eat a dick and die. Bone Thugs should make a song like, I'm gonna make a song like that. Eat a dick and die. Eat a dick and die, die, die. Eat a dick and die. Eat a dick and die, die, die. Eat a dick and die, motherfucker, try me. I'm gonna cut your IV. Needles to the IB. Talking about like that IC. I can freestyle literally on anything. Anyways, peace. I can't even see with this bright light. Bright light, bright light. Gremlins. Yeah. Okay, spot check. All right, well, the rail we just came from was about here. This is about 36. This is probably 42. God damn, this is like 50 something. This is a rail I'm gonna need a kicker or a launch. And I probably take a cover of one of these things, drop it down. Maybe take one of these. Maybe even just take that and balance it at an angle. Jam it in there so that I can grind the edge of it up and get on this fucking high ass. This shit is at my, it's at where the lower ribs, where the rib cages start to curve. But I thought it was dope because of just how it, like, just look at it. It's just one of those rails, to me, it's picturesque. Even if it were just the front side, but the goal is that you have to ride it all the way out. And then you have to go in that direction, right? I'm the motherfucking video director. I'm the editor. I'm calling the shots. That's how it has to be skated. Look at this perspective, right? Imagine this is the shot, and then all you see is, it's like an S almost, right? They say I walk around like I got an S on my chest. Now that's the BLESS. Essing's the best. I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed since birth with a curse. To just curse and spit this bizarre shit that works and it helps and it self to heal. Oh, motherfuckers don't get it. Motherfuckers just want to rap to make a buck, man. Money can't buy you nothing, man. It can't buy you. Fuck all. Stop the propaganda. Niggas got money and be miserable. Why you think Bieber made that? I'm so lonely, lonely. Nigga, come on, man. Niggas be fucked up in the game with money. You don't think I was doing mad cocaine when I had money? Look how happy I am now. No money. I made less than $1,000 all of 2023. Figure that. We're on the subject of architecture, positivity, and happiness, and just being there for each other as humanitarians. You know, each one teach one. If I see something, I point it out. Roosevelt Island, right, where I just came from the tip by the lighthouse park, you can see the water splashing up against that. So clearly that floods, right? We are, if this is 59th Street Bridge is not too far from there. Just think about this. 59th Street, 40th Street, UN Plaza. I'm basically pointing out not just global warming, not the Al Gore rhythm, right? But I'm pointing out areas in the world that get flooded, that are below sea level. And it's not just about tides rising, it's about anything happening in the oceans or anywhere. Maybe someone drops a bomb in the ocean in the fucking water. Next thing you know, all of this is flooded. But I'm pointing it out because there's flood barrier protection everywhere. And I'm guessing these areas got flooded during the last major hurricane, which was Sandy, I believe. I might be mistaken. But I'm also pointing it out because of hip hop. Lil Wayne has some really good, mellow, but chill, like lo-fi type hip hop, where he touches briefly on just some of the shitty, chaotic shit that happened with Hurricane Katrina down in Louisiana, and just how many people, poor people especially, were devastated. And we don't really think about these things, where we live and how it affects our future. We might talk generational wealth, but nigga, you living by the water where it's flooded, and the government don't give a fuck about you when that shit goes down. What you gonna do with that $1 million that you got in that $1 million property that's on the waterfront in you know, fuck it, in Tampa, in Florida, wherever it is, you know? It's people that help people, and too often if we're following algorithms and all this bullshit, we're following the machine. And I truly deep down inside believe that we are building our matrix prison. I believe we're in a matrix now, but I believe we're building a bigger system that's only gonna keep us locked in. And that's if you subscribe to it. But anyways, the octagon and whatever the fuck that is. All right, I'm really trying to make this like some of the last spot checks, but it's motherfucking Skaters Island. So this is definitely going to be one long video, all bullshit included, shit talking included, the fuck yous, because the fuck yous is about love. I wouldn't be out there saying fuck you if I didn't have some love for you. But it means you probably don't love yourself. Anyways, this is the bow of a ship, I believe spelled B-O-W, bow. Not to be confused with formerly known as Fabio, but 5-0 foreign. Bow! This is a giant piece of hollow sculpture of a ship's bow. Let's get in here real quick behind this yellow barricade with a giant, all right, big old fat, let's say this is probably about 4.5-5 inches in diameter. Very rough, but still possible to skate. Looks like it's been skated. The edges not so likely because of these panels that go in and around, but I'm sure it's difficult as shit to see it. I got a flashlight in my bag and all that, but none of that's really gonna do it justice. It's neck height where I'm at now, so, and at the tip, that's what she said, and at the tip, if you wanted to shoot your whatchamacallit, your Titanic shot, right? If you look at this thing here, you can see what's going on, right? If you wanted to shoot your Titanic shot, you can come here. If you wanted to maybe stand in the middle and just jump on it, you probably could, but then you're contending with falling over the edge. I'm gonna put my foot here. Oh, nice. So there's a platform down there. I think these types of spots are sick. Why? Because low key, like, FYI, my Pornhub is active, whatnot, but I'm really looking for people to shoot with, and I'm not discriminating. I'm not going to discriminate. Preferential treatment for women, but I have a lot of ideas where I would definitely want to shoot some stuff with trans women, maybe trans men, and definitely some men. But again, it's not just about sex. It's not for me. It's never been about sex. It's always about bringing something new to the table that no one has done before, or that people are either too afraid or too shy or too coy or just too fucking stupid or lazy to really put the effort in. I think of movies like Eyes Wide Shut. I think of concepts and stories like Caligula, and I think of other things like that, and I go, how could I shoot and make something like this dope? Or even if it's a skit, like I would totally shoot a skit where a dude's giving me head, he gets up, or vice versa, right? And it's not because I enjoy it necessarily, it's because I do these things to get over the fear that I have of these things. For you fucktards that want to keep bombing my phone, I'm gonna really try to show you guys love, man, love. But the point is, I want to shoot some dope skits, and that would be a dope place to get one, right underneath the bow of this ship. I would love to shoot a dope skit on the bow under the ship. No bullshit, you could get clipped. All right, smoke a blunt, now I'm back at it. But yeah, I haven't smoked a blunt, and I honestly haven't smoked since like a week before Ramadan. But anyways, here we are. This shit is wild crazy because it's a beautiful sculpture. It almost looks like a giant, like, wavy ass guitar type thing. I love that my head can fit through this space, which means if you were nice enough, you could probably jump through this and grind. Like, can you just imagine that? Look at this thing. All right. Talk about a wavy fucking skate spot. I'm hoping it's not raining right now. Is it fucking raining? Is it fucking rain? It's raining. It's fucking raining. But yeah, this is the waviest of skate spots right now. Look at this shit. And this is right on the other end. What's dope that I don't discredit for nothing, because I'm all about that life. Like, I'll do what I gotta do this. I do what I gotta do. I don't care if I get caught. The DA could play this motherfucking tape in court. I'll skate that. I ain't playing. You hear what I'm saying, homie? I ain't playing. Catch you slipping, I will skate this. And I'm talking about this shit right here. Motherfuckers go to the parks to do pull-ups. I do pull-ups right here, baby. Look at this. This is where niggas be getting their shit in. This is where niggas get their shit pushed in. Can't front. I wouldn't mind once in a while, but not from a dude, to be honest with you, man. It's just not my cup of tea. Totally launchable. Like, get out of here. That's a clip, man. Like, people go, yo, you don't got no tricks. I'm like, nigga, you don't got no balls. And there's a pool over here. This is just for the record, in case I forget where we are. Jack McManus. You have to use metal cleats. right? So those were the ledges and the rail on that side. We swung around the whole Bahia Yachts and we came upon this beautiful sculpture. There's also this down here, but I don't think this would be worth it. I mean, anything could be worth it depending on how you do it, but you would have to dig up the dirt a little bit. Right? Man, I could tell when the vibes is off, man. Motherfuckers is like really weird around me. They're nervous. How's that song go? I think they scared of us. I think they scared of us. Of us? Nigga, I'm one person, man. And I don't claim nothing no more. Fuck that. Only thing I claim is New Wave. New Waver, to be honest. It's New Waver York. New Wave skate, New Wave rec odds, New Wave rec ads, as in commercials, advertisements, New Wave everything. New Wave rec. Anyways, I'm just spewing shit now because I'm cooked and I cheated today. A few days I've been cheating, and I realized I cheat when I'm talking about fasting with regards to Ramadan, and it has helped. I haven't been praying, but I've been more conscious and aware of my emotions and how I feel. So that's a plus. And I've also been more conscious of the foods I put in my body. I've been eating a lot healthier, and I've been eating a lot less junk, and I've been eating. Basically, I've also been more active, which I love. And today was a prime example of what happens when I'm hungry and I eat. I ate a whole shitload of salad, and I make a banging ass salad. No meat. I could make it with meat too, but the point is I ate a banging salad and then ran out the house. And then somewhere between REI, Broadway Lafayette, Houston area, and I don't know what else I was doing, but I had to drop the meanest of dookies. And you're talking about spinach. So I ate a bunch of spinach the night before, and then cheated on my fast and ate more spinach throughout the day, like around 10 a.m. So by noon or it might have been 3 p.m. when I realized, oh shit, whatever's gonna come out is gonna come out in one drop, and it's gonna be beautiful. And it was so beautiful. It was like, I wish I could describe it. It was like imagine a head of lettuce, like a giant ball of lettuce, but it was mostly spinach, so dark green mixed with carrots and a bunch of other shit. But like when I looked into the toilet, that's what I felt like I was looking at. I felt like I was looking at a giant ball of green leafy vegetables. My bike is squeaking. Fuck. We are still going. Roosevelt Island. I'm doing the final spot checks of the night, that at least the ones that I know I can get to. I think I have one more as I get back towards the train and the tramway. But this is to just show you how dark this spot is. Honestly, to the eye, you can see it, but otherwise you can't. All right. This dirty lead spot, still skatable. All right. Lots of cool shit can be done here. Hops, gaps, challies. I'm hoping that with the brightness of this, you can see what's going on. And that's why I started waxing and creating the new spot. I need to come back with the grinder and some FYI food for thought. I was actually thinking of how I can do a really dope event here. And I think part of that idea was stemmed by Art of Rolling, Angelo Ferreira, and Shardy, Tracker Dye NYC. So I started sanding and waxing all of this, right, from about here over that way. I did not touch this inside, but what I did do is I started touching the part where you have to gap. So let me get around this pole here. You gotta hug the pole, you know what I'm saying? You gotta hug the pole. Right? This shit is rough as fuck. I want to come back and sand it properly, but I was just looking at this open area, and of course you have those handrails in the distance, and I realized that on a sunny, beautiful day, this would be a perfect spot to DIY with tents and set up like little rails going down, boxes going down. Like, this would be beautiful. You have the water, motherfuckers could be fishing. Sardines is a type of fish right there. They come in different types, but they're a slender, silky fish. I realized the last time I dropped the deuce in the river, not directly in the river, but I was looking at sardines, and I forgot when I was in Astoria with where my brother lives, bitch ass motherfucker. Still love him. But I realized I was over by Astoria Park one day, and there was a Chinese woman or someone, I forget what she was, but she was fishing, and she's pulling out these fish, and I'm like, what's that? And she goes, sardines. I'm like, oh, that shit just hurt. But sardines are very healthy. I would recommend sardines over, first of all, over any of the fucking bottom feeders. You know, if you know anything about health and hepatitis, bottom feeders like lobster, crab, shrimp, all of that shit is, it's fucking gross. It's like eating cockroaches. Not that there's anything wrong with that. You know, everyone, there's no difference. You know, gay, whatever, you like fucking shrimp? My bad, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be, no. How old? You like animals? Listen, I used to watch a lot of bestiality porn when I was young. And again, that's the, when you analyze the mind of a child, they only start becoming more docile and submissive as they get older and they get beaten. Their nature gets beaten into the ground by religion, politics, laws, friends, peer pressure. But as a child, I fucked the couch. I almost fucking ripped my dick to shreds doing dumb shit. You know, had I had some pussy in front of me, and I did. I always had pussy. I always had the baddest bitches. Like, no cap, always had the baddest girl in class. But for whatever reason, I was like shy and naive and was like, nah, sex, nah. And then my mom always got in the fucking way somehow. Like, that's another story. But we're here because I felt like we could do a really dope, beautiful event out here. And I say we, and I share it openly, because if a nigga beat me to it, cool, but hit me up and be like, yo, what you was really thinking, nigga? I measured every fucking thing you see out here. I measured it. Literally measured it with a laser and a tape measure. Sketched it first and measured it. You're talking about a couple of hours of work to create a fucking drawing. Yes, now we got technology. You could probably take one photo, turn it AI and scan it. Now you got CAD drawings. But it's not going to be as beautiful and as detailed as the human eye and the human hand and the human art that I have spent 20 years perfecting. 20 plus years perfecting. So, you know what I mean? Y'all niggas want to throw y'all events, cool. Y'all professionals, cool. Y'all don't fuck with me, cool. I still fuck with y'all. But y'all keep talking shit, guess what? I might actually fuck y'all in the booty hole. Okay, last but not least, we got this rail, right? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I thought I was off. Now, the problem I have with this rail is that as soon as you come off the rail, you fall right into this, what I would call at least a 1-inch crack of asphalt. That sounded kind of hilarious and weird. You also have the rail on the wall, right? 10 risers. Beautiful rail. I love this type of material. It slides well. It's a little high. You can definitely get hurt on it, but I'm showing you because there's multiple opportunities. You can gap it. If you wanted to DIY something dope, you can build something on the wall. You can build a box here, right? Imagine a bunch of tents set up, something for kids to play. You clean, you sweep all of this. There's food being grilled, motherfuckers. There's fishing. Maybe a motherfucker's got jet skis and we're doing like a little sea-doo demo for some kids and adults. And like, sometimes the tide's really low. Sometimes right now it's night and the tide's going that way. It's going south. But if you come certain times of day, the tide's actually going north, right? So it's just a beautiful area overall. And I love just an open space that no one gives a fuck about, because that's when I pour my TLC into it. Literally, physically, mentally, emotionally, metaphorically, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, that's your spot. And then since I'm close to another spot here, we're gonna swing around, and we got the parking lot above us, right? But we're gonna swing around here to these ledges. There's one on this side. You can roll up there. You can fucking launch. You can put a launch to it and skate the ledge, right? But you can roll on it and you can maybe go up it, right? All possibilities. Maybe you don't just use the ledge. Maybe you put angle iron on it. Maybe you put PVC on it. Possibilities. As we approach, right? So just context. That's the door I just came in. Behind me, the elevator shaft is right here. The stairwell in the center. These, first of all, these giant escalators, I'm sorry. I believe there's so much potential there where if we really wanted to, we could like do some shit on them, roll down them, grind them, slide them, whatever. Just move some of the wood and just move it and put it back beautifully, right? This is the other ledge, which is actually still waxed up. Gotta love an automatic door. But yeah, imagine you book it here, you come up, back Royale ski, drop down to the bench, and you just grind up and across, like just so much potential, you know? Maybe it started at the top and then slide. Be honest with you, from up here, it looks fucking scary to drop in on this. Like, when you hit this, you gotta be ready to move. Like, when I move, you move. And this is slippery as fuck. It's not that slippery. It's actually just dusty. Like the denim. As you can see, this is an acoustic check. And for those of you who actually watch this whole video, go figure that I do an acoustic check video at the Oculus, right? Calatrava, right? If you know architecture. Is it Roberto? I forget his name. Calatrava designed the skeleton-like, Jurassic skeleton-like structure known as the Oculus World Trade Center. I'm in there, I don't know, 2, 4, 5 in the morning, empty. Whistling because I'm thinking I'd love to shoot a video there, do some dope shit there. Next thing you know, I find out and see that Kanye West shot a video in there. You think that shit is coincidence? Fuck no, nigga. That's me, nigga. Niggas talking about narcissist, nigga. Niggas talking about ego, nigga. Niggas want you to kill your pride. What Jada said? First they gonna try to divide, then they conquer you. Make you swallow your pride because they sponsor you. I only fear two beings. One I could talk to, the other I am him. So I only fear myself, nigga. Because I know I'll kill one of you bitch ass culeros. Going up? Yeah. Go ahead, you can hit it. I'm not sure where I'm going. 5.
Bridge?
Yeah, to walk.
4.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Bridge is 4. Oh yeah, bridge is 4. Look at this. And we will wrap up this spot check for Roosevelt Island. You can get the big balls of water if you wanted to hit the high ledge. I feel like this down ledge is all, what do you call it? Sheetrock, GWB, right? Gypsum wall board with probably a metal angle on it, so not the best. All right, but just look at the beautiful shot, right? Whether it's a rap video, music video, whatever it is, maybe it's rock, maybe it's something else, maybe it's pornography. But look at this. This expansion joint, as you can see, has expanded and one side's raised, one side's lower. I don't know if you can see that, but we are out. And look at this. This goes forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And you still have this high ledge. And that's the security booth yonder. Level 4 in the elevator. And that's the bridge that takes you into Queens if you wanted to walk, ride, bike, whatever, Astoria. I honestly think I have another spot or 2 or 3. I got a few more spots, but this is it for now. I'm really tired. Okay, spot check. This is the motherfucking ramp. I just came from level 4 on the elevator, and there's a spot directly across from the ledges we skate that people probably have never known about, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rises. Decent sturdy handrail on the wall that is almost 2.5 inches off of the wall. A very rough ledge, right? You can see how big these pieces of sediments are. They're almost as big as a fingernail, which gives you some context for when it wears down. But guess what? It doesn't have to wear down if we prep it and we actually show it some TLC and take care of it. Giant crack that's almost 2 inches at this point. But why I'm here is because you have the potential to DIY a dope fucking ledge, right? Look at these giant lights. These lights ain't going nowhere. You have the potential to even go as far as build something else or some other infrastructure on a set of stairs like this, or something right down the middle. You have the potential to build some straight obstacle or build a new, brand new type of structure on top of this ledge. So you have a perfect ledge that you can skate where motherfuckers might not even know you're there. And then what is this? Random piece of steel just waiting to be mounted somewhere? You know, like, what do you got here? Parking curbs. Look at this. Giant lampposts that have been probably sitting here for at least 2 decades. Got a shout out, is that Fidney? Gotta love those guys, but all of this beautiful shit here. Just like a lot of DIY. Like, the world is yours for the taking, but motherfuckers don't want to take it. And I'm tired of asking for help. I'm tired of telling people shit. Like, and I've been doing it myself for fucking forever. Motherfuckers think I'm crazy. I'm not. I'm so certain of what I want that I don't want anything getting in the way. And I let a lot of shit slide because I'm very violent. And I don't know how to not murder someone when I get angry. So I fucking just try to ignore it. I block it out like it doesn't exist. But I realize that's gonna turn me into my grandma if I don't speak on it. So I'm gonna blow that shit out. All right. As you can see, not the best of ledges, right? Very rough. Definitely kind of like the ledge I just showed you guys right next to the ramp, right? That's the ramp, that's the bridge, right? But I've always felt like there could be a way to mitigate this 90-degree angle, make it into a rounded curved ledge sustainably, and something that is beautiful that no one would question, no one would even know, on some like thief of the night creep out shit. And then you would have a dope ledge that spans 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. The point is that you would have a ledge that goes from the basketball net all the way up. I don't know if you hear that hum. That hum means it's working. It's an electrical junction box of some sort, probably 220 volts or more. But you can skate it, and then this odd fucking rail, which bows, right? Like the other rails I showed you guys earlier, and then get a trick on that, right? Of course, you can skate this from that side, but you can also come here, which is beautifully open space. A space like this you would think would have bleachers. Doesn't, which might happen soon, right? And that's why I say let's take advantage of this shit and get it done now. Launch of some kind to this rail, to the ledge, and or just book it on one of these scooters up the entire ledge. And these are the things that truly make me happy. And while we're here, I'll just run over to this section, because I'm trying to keep some of these videos short so that I can shorten them into 60-second videos as well, and do the but there's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You see the problem you have with a spot like this? That's almost two inches of a gap, right? Then you've got this fat rail here, right? This ledge is a potential, right? This ledge is also potential. And then this is a very well-known fat curved rail. And when I say fat, it's humongous. It really looks like it's highway construction, you know? Like maybe this used to be part of the infrastructure for the roadways many moons ago. Quick FYI, if you know, you know, Roosevelt Island has, to my knowledge, for all the years, and I'm being honest with you, I skated Roosevelt Island for years because of that sheltered spot under the bridge. And when I say years, I mean, I probably skated Roosevelt Island for like a decade straight, meaning every time it rained, yo, what you want to do? You want to go to Roosevelt Island? Where we meeting up? Fort Hamilton? Where we going? Battery? Where we going? The banks? Oh shit, it's about to rain. Where you want to go? Roosevelt? All right, fuck it, we'll call it Roosevelt. Literally, that was our go-to until there was a point in a shift in our mentality where drinking and partying became the norm. Instead of going skating, if it rained, nah, we're gonna hit the bar. You know, when we could have been, nah, we're gonna go to Roosevelt, grab some brews, grab some fruit, grab some weed, and keep skating. But I'm showing you this because Roosevelt Island, all the years I've skated here, I've always had women and dudes, but mostly young girls, often underage girls, come up to us, hot, attractive underage girls. When I say underage, I don't mean 5, 6, 7. I mean, you know, 13, 14, 18, 17, 18, whatever. But they would come up to us, they would see us skating. They would always talk to us, and they would be like, yeah, we live in a group home, or we live in a not a shelter, but it was always either, the word they used was foster care. They didn't use the word group home. They didn't use the word like shelter or whatever. They always used the word we were in some kind of foster house. So I always had this thought and idea from these women that I would meet over this decade, like, yo, Roosevelt Island has a lot of, like, I guess, children that don't have homes. So I don't know if that's still the case, but I feel like there might just be a huge quote-unquote riff-raff community out here. And I'm saying that because as I'm talking about DIYing this ledge and whatnot, there's like giant camera right next to the basketball court. And it could also be because it's a basketball court. And, you know, when COVID hit, they took basketball rims down. When you think about that logically, like it almost seems like it was a direct racial stab at the urban community. Not to say people like white people and other people don't play basketball, but who's hanging out on a basketball court 99% of the time. Me, motherfuckers of color. How did I get into inline skating? To be completely honest, fuck rollerblade, pulled up to the basketball court at Detective Keith L. Williams Playground in Jamaica, Queens. And that's when I was like, really got a chance to try on a pair of rollerblades and was like, yo, this is dope. And I think that I might have been 12 or 11. And then the next time I had a chance, I told my pops, my birthday came around when I was turning 13. My pops was like, what you want? And I said, everybody was asking me what I want. And I was either get some Marvel comic cards, a whole bunch of Marvel comic cards, or it was get rollerblades. And I was like, I think I gave up on the cards. I think somebody got me the cards and then I got the rollerblades. I forget. But the point is, as soon as my pops got me those rollerblades, I broke my forearm like shortly after. And that spawned my fear of rollerblading. And the reason why I'm an aggressive skater and the reason why I'm talking hot shit the way I'm talking now is because for other people to, like, if people want to start doing aggressive inline roller skating, and I don't care how you do it, even if you do like the softest shit on it and just get creative with your feet, there's still a high risk that you're gonna bite it and eat shit. So why not go all the way? Why not go all the way? And it's the same concept, again, that I used to get over my fear of being with transgender women. And that was to go all the way into homosexuality and not be afraid of it. But it seems like motherfuckers want me to keep going, and I'm good. I've had my fair share. Oh, so many spots. All right, we'll take a break. Okay, I'm at another spot that I've always had in the back of my mind as a possibility, but I've never actually done my due diligence to see if it was like realistically possible. And there's a camera here at the doorway, so I'm gonna make this quick. But I think the point is that sometimes I'm not all there, and I think it's for a good reason. And sure enough, there is a good reason, right? So my theory was stand up there in the corner, roll, and then gap to the rail. Now just look at how ridiculous that would be. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like, I've seen BMXers and other people, like I've seen other more dangerous shit, but to go from that corner to the rail, possible, but you'd have to put a piece of wood, plenty of pieces of wood down, and the chances of getting broke off are extremely high. And this is close to, I think, the end of all of what I want to show. I think maybe there might be, geez, fuck, there's more. There's fucking more. And just remember, there's more potential. Not like more guaranteed, but there's more potential. All right, hold on. Alrighty then. I just came from basically the other end of this building. I think right in that direction is where you can cut through the short answer, right? But always thought these rails very interesting, but yet very fucking dangerous. This is not the steepest of rails, but as I'm standing here now, I'm going, holy shit, what about the brick side? And the brick side is more my speed, honestly. So let's just take a stroll. You got a pretty clean run up. You've got a solid concrete step, no cracks really. And the rail is pretty high, if I'm not, let me see. Actually, no, from here, standing on the step, it's maybe a little bit above 36 inches, but if you gap out, it's no problem, right? And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 risers. And if you were to fuck with this thing on the side, the potential is there. You just jump off early, of course. The ground actually pretty level, pretty smooth, to be honest. But yeah, wow, wah, wee, wah. Wah, wah, wee, wah. $18 risers, 18 stair. Huh. And then, you know, there's that. But these, I don't like showing some of these like ADA ramp rails because it's really a guardrail, which means it's close to 42 inches and it's fucking high, and most of us can't jump that high. Let me see. It's actually relatively low at the bottom part, so maybe this is a potential skate spot. Everything is a potential, but when I say maybe is a potential, like maybe I would skate it. It's really all about me, if you haven't figured out, me and the community, right? Because somebody's got to lead the way. All right, this is the main street heading back to the subway entrance, and you have a relatively fat rail, red rail. I think it's been painted red forever as maybe a safety precaution, but this rail spans quite a bit of a distance. As you can see, the rail is, I'll tell you, when the car passes is when the rail stops. And the rail stops there. So it's fucking long. And last but not least, I guess, before we head, oh no shit, there's some tramway spots that I didn't really point out, but whatever. That's the subway entrance. I just came from like the other side, Starbucks over there, whatever. I've always felt like these concrete ledges, though they are curved, something could be done here. But that was when it was first built and there wasn't all this vegetation. So perhaps when it's winter and there isn't vegetation, but not just the outside, the inside, right? Because the inside is more conducive to grinding. And then there is this side as well, right? If you can see what I mean by the inside. This is what you're looking at on the inside of the ledge, right? So imagine coming around. This fucking light, this thing doesn't even look like it belongs here. Again, when I'm about something, I get it done. I would move this fucking thing if I had to. Right? And we are, right? F-train and autobus and the bridge right behind me. So now I'm going to do one last check at the tramway, because I think that's the only thing I really wanted to look at that I didn't, and I might just take that into Manhattan to give you the final view as to why it's so beautiful to come visit Roosevelt Island and why it's important to take the tramway, or why it's just a good vibe. Spot check. We're doing the final check before I ascend into the sky. We have a very rough ledge, and not the worst scenario, because if you notice, it's rough in a sort of consistent way, right? Where it's like, if there's a bump here and a bump there, but the bumps in the middle, you can go over all of the bumps because they're bumped evenly. What I love is that it's 1, 2, 3, 4 stair, and you can maybe get an alley-oop fish on something of this nature. I also love that if you wanted to get buck and ballsy, you can launch to it, mind the gates and the grates. There's aluminum on the left and there's aluminum on the right, or left and right. Give you a little idea of the sound of silence. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of other shit. Let me grab my water bottle and try to give you a better view of what's happening. There's also this massive ledge, also very rough, but still funky and doable, right? Then there's this, and that's all she wrote, folks. I have to get on this train. And we shall depart the Rhode Island. Not Rhode Island. There's a big RI out there, but the Roosevelt Island. I just thought it's funny that they had a giant RI. And the cake is swimming. All right, if you can hear me, I'm geeking just a little bit. Why? Because I love anything with wheels and ball bearings. And if you can see what I'm looking at, that's the mechanism making the sound right now. The gears are spinning, if you will. Wow, not even 5 minutes, and we're already across the river. So we are departed from Roosevelt Island. I hope you enjoy this video as I speak to you in the dark abyss that is the tramway. Spider-Man.
Like honestly, like I'm a little bit I like lower. Like something. Like the lot is so small compared to the others.
And as we land, I'm gonna do one last spot that I'm gonna count not just as Roosevelt Island, because again, Roosevelt Island is technically Manhattan for the postal services. So one other very detailed spot that I've always thought about, and because of that, I've thought about technology that can be created to help with things like impact and shock absorption for bigger, more impossible stunts. So that stunt would be if you jump off of this platform that we're now entering into the street, right? So the question is, could you jump from up there to the street? So when I look at the Stuyvesant drop, which is about 14 feet if you do it at the very last minute, about 13 and a half to 14 feet. I think this one is 18, but we'll see. So the question is, could you drop to the street from this platform? So basically when this tramway leaves, right, you can see the bottom of the platform from where the tramway sits. So I've always felt it would be amazing to roll on this point here out, and it might be possible on a BMX, out and gap to the street. What do you think? I think maybe on a BMX, but not on inline skates. I think that would be very difficult. I want to see what it looks like when it leaves, so you can see so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the tramway leaving. As you can see, the tramway is what? I don't know how many more feet that is from the edge. I'm gonna measure it from here. I'm gonna measure it from here. That way I get the true actual drop, not the actual clearance. So what I do is I take the laser, we turn the laser on. Laser very dangerous. People get scared when I shoot this laser. Cops get called sometimes, right? So the laser to the sidewalk, not the street, because I would have to shoot it at too much of an angle. That's 271, right? So now what I do is I point the laser here and I go minus 271, and now I point it. I can't even see what I'm doing. But yeah, minus 271 to that point there. That gives me 181 or 182. So that's the distance I'm getting to the bottommost point is 182. So you'd be jumping, you'd be rolling, and you'd be jumping 182. Geez, that sounds like a lot. Let me just do that math quickly. Okay, so I just did the math and I got approximately 15.1 feet. All right, now we're gonna go downstairs and see what it actually comes out to. And then we're gonna measure it upwards so that way we'll know the actual thickness of the slab. Oh shit, this elevator came quick. Right, that's what we're looking at. I guess I have to hit street. I believe there's a sign that says, I could have sworn it said 18, but 15 feet isn't, now that's like, now we're actually within the same range as to what these knuckleheads is trying to do, jumping Stuyvesant. I say knuckleheads, but I want to do it too, right? Takes one to know one. There used to be a sign here that said clearance. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. If you guys can see, if you guys can join me here. So it is 18 feet. I didn't get that wrong. But 18 feet is clearance to 18 feet is clearance to this point. What I measured was the drop from the tip, from the edge here. So the edge there to the floor is 15. And if you wanted to, you can add a, so I can do 181 plus, I'm gonna add this little smidge here. And it's, whatever, let's just say it's 183. So it's still under 16 feet. And we already have established that 14 feet is possible. So the whole time, all these years, I've been looking at 18 feet going, I wonder if that's possible to the street. And guess what? It fucking is possible. Fuck. I thought it was out of the realm of possibility and I needed new technology. I thought I needed like some new special pogo style suspension frames where I could jump and then jump right back up, like that type of technology where it had to be that, the physics and the dynamics had to be that powerful. But I realize now it can be done with little, with more, it's more about physical abilities, mental capabilities, gonads, right? You gotta have the gonads, the goneesies, everything easy, right? Goneesy. I got the ACGZs. I'm fucking yo BGs. Nah, that don't work. But yeah, man. All right, so now let's measure to just directly to the bottom. Let's hop this bitch. Right? So 181. Fuck it, let's just measure it from the bottom. So I got 175. So if it was 181 and that was 15.1, so that's only 5 extra inches technically. That's not no fucking 5 inches, so something's wrong with my measurement. I gotta measure this again. Okay, let me do that again. It's 175 to the bottom of this fucking thing. They always tell you measure twice, cut once, right? Okay, I'm getting 178, 176. All right, 175. Is that 5 inches? That does not look like 5 inches. That looks like at least 12 inches. Huh. The true way to measure this is to get onto that platform and shoot my laser down before the next tramway comes. I'm gonna lock the bike up and see if I can get the true definite measurement. Just bear with me. All right, you gotta wish me luck. There's only one way to get the true dimension, right? And that is to go right to the edge. Right to the edge. The only way to get the true dimension is to go right to the edge. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna put the camera here. $188. So let's do that math quickly. All right, the verdict is in. It is exactly 15.6. So it's exact. So 6 is almost like 8. So it's 15 feet 8 inches. And if I'm being completely honest, I think when I review the footage of Jeff Downs and Fish jumping into that basketball court, into the tennis court, I feel like some of them actually jumped from a point that might have been just as high as this tramway spot. So I'm gonna go get another angle from like across the street. But yeah, 15.6 is close to 15 foot 8 inches. You seen it here first, man. You seen it here first. The footage never lies. And this is your runway. I think the other important thing I should note is the approach, right? So right here, I'm taking the shot. This is from that point to the wall. So your approach is approximately 352 inches. So if you're looking at me, this is what I have before I jump, right? And that is the intro to the rail, to the spot. And you have to, well, you're gonna clear that. The street also slopes this way a little bit, so all of that has to be taken into consideration. Yikes, I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. Yeah, how you doing? Could be done. We're looking at some stunts here, man. We're looking at some stunts. So the stunt would be to do it on inline skates from here to the street.
What kind of stunt is that?
It's the stunt. You jump to the street on inline skates. No, not from here. From here, from there, roll and jump to the street. So I just use the laser to measure the height to make sure I get the calculations right. I don't know. I don't think it's been done ever. That height, it might be possible on a skateboard or BMX. So I really have to do all the math and science first. And then obviously I'm gonna talk to people and make sure that everything's safe and clear, the city's clear, the streets are clear. I'm not gonna do this without everyone's involvement. I don't wanna come here and do it and land it and then get hit by a car. Or do it and then the tramway hits me or something happens.
You saying you gonna go off that balcony?
Right, no, from in there. I would have to stand there because it's the lowest point. It's too high if I jump here. You get what I'm saying? It's, so the biggest stunt that I've seen measured is about 14 feet. I just measured it. This is almost 15 feet, 8 inches. So I would land where you see the only. That's where I would land.
You sure you gonna break a leg?
It's possible, but If I,
That's what skateboarding?
that's what rollerblades, inline skates.
roller skates,
Yeah,
yeah.
inline, yeah, roller skates, inline
How
skates.
long you
Yeah,
been doing that?
almost 20 years, but I've never jumped anything this big. I've jumped
That's
the
a
biggest
big
I've jumped.
jump,
The
yo.
biggest I've jumped is about 10 feet.
Oh, okay.
But other guys have jumped 14, and I'm getting ready
This
to.
is like 2 floors, like 3 floors.
It's
Third
no, it's
floor
not
of
3
the
floors.
building,
No.
right?
I'm an architect as well, so I know I'm an architect and I'm an EMT.
Oh, okay.
So I know a lot about safety, and I'm a fire safety architect. I do a lot of work around the city for evacuation, fire prevention, fire safety. Do a lot of work with the fire department. So, but I don't do a lot of stunts this big. So forgive me for jumping in there. I know that set off a lot of flags for you guys. Forgive me for that. But I realized I have the laser. The tramway wasn't coming. Now it was, yeah, and I've been looking at this for years. Years I've been looking at this. 20 years I've been looking at this. Listen, I appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Yes, have a good night. Take the stairs. All right, you guys saw it. 15.6. I just think I'm worried about Stuyvesant. This is really where the cake is at. Like, it's all about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Like, once you know what you are capable of and what's possible, like, I don't know if you, like, so cars are coming at me, right? Let me see how wide they turn. So maybe I wouldn't jump on this one. Maybe I would jump on this one, right? Because I feel like even if the cars were coming and I jumped on this one, so honestly, I might have to measure them both, because sometimes construction is so fickle and funny that however it's built and designed, it might actually be different. It might actually be lower. Let's measure the other one, just to the bottom. Fucking got me geeking out here. $170. The other one was 188 to the top. That's 170. Honestly, this side might actually be lower. I forgot what the fucking other measurement was. I was supposed to sketch this shit and write these numbers down. So that's 170. Huh. I'll tell you what, here's a trick. Here's a trick to figure out what the difference is. So that's 170, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot a measurement from a stationary point. I'm gonna shoot a measurement from a stationary point to the top of the curb. All right, so I got 169 approximately. And then what I do is I hit minus and then go to the bottom. And that gives me approximately, so that's approximately 9 inches thick. Approximately, if that makes sense. So that was 170 plus 8. That's 178. The other one was 188. 178, 188. Fuck, I think I gotta go out there and measure this, man. Either way, now I have a ballpark that it's less than 16 feet. And we know 14 feet's possible. 2 feet can make a world of difference, though. And the sloped street can make a world of difference. The rough landing can make a difference, right? See how rough this is versus here? The painted surface is actually a little more textile, and it's designed for, I guess, traction. I think I'm gonna come and get a proper tape and just let the tape drop. Or, fuck. Huh. I'm also thinking of this gap that Julian Ba did in, I want to say in an ATL water park, Hashashins. It looked massive, but I think the number of the depth of the pool was on that, and he didn't land it. His legs buckled under him. But I feel like the shit he tried might have been on this level. Anyways, I'm calling it. Yeah, we're calling it. We're wrapping it up for the night. I want one shot. I just want one good shot from the center of this thing. I just want one shot. The center of this thing. One shot. Cut.